Yo, what up, YouTube? In today's video, we'll be talking about a good old favorite of ours, Law. That's right, we're bringing our boy back. We're gonna try and see if we can make him crack, all right? So let's get at it. First off, we're gonna start with 4 of the Julia Urbani, which is obviously a staple in the deck. That's not going anywhere. We're doing 3 of the Capone Beige, which is a good number of blockers to have. We're going to go into some of my tech, which is going to be 1 of the Useless Kid Double Swinger. This is pretty good for helping to reduce your life and applying pressure to your opponent. And we're doing 3 of the X-Drake, which is really good for boosting all your supernovas again. So if you got Kenny Keller on the field and you go into an X-Drake, that's a good boost for him. There's a good easy 7K swing into your opponent. Then you got 3 of the Kid and Killer, which is also a supernova, so it's searchable off of Bonnie, which you can also play with leader ability, so you can shambles into him really easily. We're playing 4 of the Blocker Law. He's also a staple, not going anywhere. Playing 2 of the Cavendish. I actually want to play more Cavendish, but I've only got 2 for the moment. But this card is cracked in this deck. It really helps with your leader ability and also makes playing 4 costs for that turn feel like it costs nothing. So I'm playing a little bit of a higher count of characters, and because of this, the Cavendish really helps for turns where you just want to hard play your cost 4s. It just feels really good to hard play a cost 4 for 2. Playing 2 Restand Law. Again, space is hard to find in this deck, so I just cut a lot of things just to try and sort of fit this engine in. I like the deck with the way it is and the supernovas that I have in here. It works pretty consistently and it hits pretty hard whenever you do get the roll in. There are some games where you are in an unfortunate position, but that's just how it is right now with the deck. It's just kind of sort of got to play it as it is and just, you know, hope for the best, low-key. Moving on for the Straw Hat portion, we have 4 of the Searcher Nami. Obviously a staple. She's not going anywhere. You got to play her at 4. Then we have 4 of the Tony Chopper. Another staple in the deck. You just got to play 4 of those. Really good to search, really good for helping you build your board and protecting your creatures, because in this build you just kind of sort of want to protect your bodies because they're going to provide you a lot of value. So until your opponent just starts swinging at life, you're just going to keep your creatures alive, especially your X-Drake, so you can just keep using him over and over again every turn and just keep swinging 77 sevens to your opponent. And we're playing 3 of the Brooks. I actually probably going to take this up to 4 of the 2-cost Brook, because his ability to just rearrange Don is very, very useful, especially for all the creatures you're playing that could use that 7K swing, or even just the Kid and Killer who can just automatically turn his ability on, swing 6, and that's a double swing. And when you're coming so aggressively in this deck, that could be a problem for your opponent. Then moving on, we're playing 1 of the Nico Robin. Nico Robin's in here just for like the black matchups, mostly just for whenever they play, you know, a 0-cost character, just go ahead and KO it. Still really good, still really good. Then we're playing 4 Ruinora Zoro. Ruinora Zoro goes really good with the 4-cost Brook that we were playing, because you're not trying to weenie build as much in this build. You're mostly using higher cost characters to build into board. One of the plays that I'm about to show you here that I use the most to build board, I'm going to show you here in a second. But moving on to the rest of the Straw Hat package to close it out, we have the 1 Luffy. I play the 1 Luffy obviously because he's Straw Hat and Supernova, and because his ability is still really good. Now moving over to the Miscellaneous, this is the neither Straw Hat nor are they Supernovas. We have the 2 Shariah blockers. I play the 2 Shariah blockers because it is a film character and you can play him off of Brook. So it's really good for that purpose. And then we have 2 of the Makino. Makino is just a 2K counter, and for the niche situations where I do have a maybe I have a Nico Robin, or maybe I have a Nami on board, then I can just play that. It'll be a body on board, boost the Nico or the Nami, and then I got another 5K swing on top of the other swings that I've already got. And to close out the deck, I'm playing 4 of the Draco Mihawk. Draco Mihawk is your board building bread and butter for if you just want an early game, kind of sort of hold back and then just explode later. Mihawk, it allows you to do that because you can just have a board out of absolutely nowhere with that. So you can just go, usually a play I like to do is turn 1. Even if I'm turn 1 player, then I'll just play a blocker or some sort of buy to put down just to protect for my turn 2 play. Even if I'm turn 2 player, I'll try to just play 1 blocker. Or I'll play 2 blockers and block with 1 blocker so that I'll just go back down to 1 character on board. But in whatever case I need to meet the conditions for Mihawk, I'll do. So, like I said, if I have a blocker, I'll play 1 blocker, then go into Mihawk, Mihawk into Brook, Brook into either the Shariah or any of my other Straw Hat cards, because he can summon any Straw Hat in the deck. So ideally you'll want to go for max value, which is going to be your Zoro. So you ideally want to go Mihawk into Brook into Zoro is what the best play you can make. But if you can't do that, then Mihawk into Brook is still pretty good because you at minimum have a 7k swing leader, or Mihawk into Brook into Nami allows you a search for the turn. So it just means you could come into the chopper blocker to set down to protect the Brook so that the Brook can swing next turn. It just has a lot of really good synergy in it. I've been enjoying this deck so far. I've been playing it a little bit around just with friends and at locals, and I'll be posting some video footage up here shortly of me playing the deck. But I've been having a lot of fun with this. It's not super competitive, no, but like I say, for locals or just playing around with, it's actually still pretty fun. If you're not going to get something that has heavy board removal, then this still feels like a really good deck into mostly everything. And it's still even really good still into yellow, even though, you know, yellow has all that board removal now. This still feels pretty good because I'm not playing as low to the ground, so everything isn't as easy to KO. So you can board build, like I say, off of higher cost characters as the play I just mentioned to you. If you do this on a higher dawn turn and you can shambles out the little weenies you play, because let's say that you did do the Mihawk Brook into whatever combination, which is 3 characters, you have 2 1-drops. You can place those 2 1-drops with a 5-cost Law and then another 3-cost character, that'd be a Shariah. Now you have no characters on board below 3 cost, which is pretty good for Law to be established like that and still have multiple blockers on board. Having a Shariah with the Law feels very comfortable too. It's just like, okay, I know that I'm only going to have to discard 1 for a block, and I know I still got this body for a block, so 2k probably will get me there. So I get to keep most of my resources in my hand and still be able to defend myself pretty comfortably. Even the Brook into the Shariah is still a very comfortable turn 2. Even just establishing the 2-cost Brook is still a very comfortable turn 2 or turn 3 when you're swinging 7 with lead, or you're just rearranging Don so that you can put it onto the X-Drake, and then the X-Drake can just turn on all your characters. Like, there's been a couple of games where I'll just have an X-Drake established, and then I'll just explode next turn with the Mihawk into that whole combination, and then be able to shambles. And now on the following turn, I have a board that if you didn't deal with the turn before, then it's about to be very impressive the turn after. And I'm probably gonna, if not put myself into a position to win the game that turn, because I'll have either ate a lot of life or ate a lot of resources out of my opponent's hand. And then for their crackback, it's very hard, because at that time I'll probably like bounce back 2Ks, search more 2Ks, use my searcher to search as many counter blockers that I can to the field. But yeah, that's the deck profile. That's what I've been working with, and I'll have some games uploaded for you guys here shortly. Thanks for watching, and peace.